what we have today, in the result of this panel, is the work that has started really 13 years ago, when the concept of multi-banking was introduced. At that time, everybody thought we were crazy to come up with such concepts. There was a handful of companies who led the way, and at that time only the proprietary systems of banks, what is called sometimes the front-end systems, were being developed by banks. And to think that there could be a multi-bank solution, at that time SWIFT was not in the game with the MT798, was really difficult. Today it is a reality, and very nicely put, Sebastian, it's now, and it's not a question of if, it's a question of how. And you see here examples in front of you, Hannover Re, Siemens Financial Services. I can also mention our client Safran in France, Aerospace and Defense, EADS, Daimler, a new client in Denmark, FLS Smith, and General Electric. There are companies today who are adopting multi-bank technologies, and what SWIFT is doing with 798 and with Light 2, what Urs will speak about, really helps further to enhance adoption. And the benefits for the corporates, of course, of having such technology is significant, and that's why investments are being made. But now with SWIFT MT798, also the work for the banks are going to be simplified once some investments are done on the back office side of banks. So to enable the messaging that was before only bank to bank for trade to extend from bank to corporate, and from corporate back to the bank.
But as a technology provider, do you see those standards as an opportunity for you to develop your business, or a way to restrict your activities? How do you welcome those? And you forget you have two SWIFT people on the panel here. If you'd like to be.
Well, I think we are selling SWIFT along selling at global trade. I can tell you that. So every time when we make even a sales call, one way to open up for our sales folks is to say, have you heard about SWIFT MT798? And that's a good opening question to the corporates to say, well, what is 798? This is a way for you to play in, I call it a sandbox. I used to say SWIFT used to be a banker sandbox and nobody else was allowed to play. Well, guess what? Now corporates are allowed to play. And that opens up people's mind to say, well, it means I can have my own BIC code, I can have access to the SWIFT network, and that immediately presents opportunities. So either we're speaking to corporates, one of your 500 or 600 corporates that are already on SWIFT, and for them it's a question, oh, that's interesting, I can do also not only cash management, FX, I can also do trade. Or we're speaking to those corporates who are predominantly doing LC and guarantee business. For them that's a major part of their business, and they say, wow, that's interesting, then I can aggregate the information. And if you speak about export documentary credits, you correct me if I'm wrong, most of the companies are decentralized today. So if you look, with the exception of Siemens Financial Services, almost everybody else, the LCs coming in to the business units, they're coming into the factories from where goods are produced and that produce documents. That means the Treasury, if there is a Treasury centrally, does not see the exposure of issuing bank risk or confirming bank risk. So if we do have another, God forbid, crisis, as we had recently, and the company wants to know what is my exposure to this or that bank, today it's not known because those LCs are in different companies, in different business units on a global basis. So even to offer an opportunity to say there is now a way how you can get visibility, I'm not talking about other benefits such as document preparation, electronic presentation of documents, workflow for approvals, just the ability to have everything in one central database. That alone is a value add. That again, and it depends whether you're speaking about LCs or guarantees. There are other benefits. What drives the interest to speak further, to see a demonstration of a solution.